Hey, hello everybody, it's Dr. Kam Yuen. I want to welcome you to the My Answers to the Daily News. So the news just today gave like 8 apps that would help you relax. So we're going to give you the link to see what they have to say about it. Okay, so they give you, coloring books for adults, and so they always think that you need to take time out to get away from it all, and present these apps for you to put the stress on hold, and you can live a healthier and happier life. Right? So stress on hold, that's kind of not what you want to do in a way, at least not what I want to do. So you want to be able to actually not just relax excessively. So relaxation is really the problem in itself. We think that when we have stress, we're going to relax ourselves out of that stress. And we got to restore back to tensing and untensing. That's really where it's at, okay? So when you relax all the time, then you will have a reaction to your excessive relaxation, and that reaction make you think that you're just having more tension than you ought to have in your life. So it's great to do the coloring book, and it does zone you out to a certain extent, right? So it doesn't really resolve the things for you. So you want to be strong to tensing and untensing, so that way you activate every aspect of your body, including the central nervous system. So we always think about the central nervous system. I mean, we do. Think of the central nervous system as the computer, and by tensing and untensing it into the midline, your brain and the spinal cord and so forth, you're actually activating the your computer, so it will resolve the situation for you, right? So, and it's not like just having a distraction. You want resolution. You want to be able to take charge of your life situation, and not like take time out and get away from it all, right? So, so you could try the other way of being suggested, and or you try a different way of what we do is tensing and untensing. Restore the tension back, or tension and untensing to your body, so everything will be in sync, and there's no unevenness in your body that make you try to compensate for the unevenness, and that's what generate reactions and emotions and even sensation. So I just want to define sensation. Sensation would be pain, discomfort, irritation, and hypersensitivity, achiness, burning, and pressure. So that's the first list of sensation. You want to know each one what they are, so you could resolve it and not just blend them all together and have difficulty resolving it. And also, you want to be able to separate emotions from reactions, reaction from emotions, even though the sensation of it or the interpretation of it is pretty much similar, but that's a distinct difference. And when you could perceive the difference of the two, it would resolve itself in a proper order. So thank you, and I will continue with my answers to the daily news. Thanks again. Hey, hello everybody. If you are listening to my podcast, they are now all on iTunes. So leave me a review so I could do better in meeting your wellness needs. Hey, hello everybody. I want to do my additional segment on my answer to the daily news. I just want to ensure that I would add my insightful answer or insightfulness to the answer to the daily news. So insight consists of feeling, perception, and intuition. When each component that's mentioned as feeling, perception, and intuition, each one is strong with the other, and they form a triad. The triad is strong, then you automatically have insight. Is not something you have to go and develop insight. So insight is not something you develop. You just have to be strong to those three components, and you automatically have insight. All right. So, and insight is really when you receive the answer. You have no insight. You're just giving your opinion and your past experience of what you read or what you hear from others. So insight give you the answers, fits the questions that presented in the news, or the problems that's presented. So you can actually trace it down and receive the reason or the answer why something have taken place. So, and it's good for everyone to have that. So you have to recognize that insight is not a mental attribute. So I myself thought it was mental, even spiritual, right? Insight, but it's actually totally physical. So your insight is just like other living creature have, right? They'll have insight. They could feel what's going on and perceive what's going on, and they have this intuition that they don't have to use a lot of effort to actually to process what's going on and have an answer. That they know you're there, or they could perceive your presence, right? So, and it's not something strange for other living creatures to have that, but for human it's somewhat strange, right? So you can actually watch a samurai movie that a person could feel someone, standing behind the door, as if there was something special about that, right? There's nothing really special about it. Everyone has it, right? So we just have to get our mind confusing our instinct or our insight, so we could have that insight that could be applicable. So the insight is for it to be applicable. Of course, it should be automatic. So you have insight whenever you need the insight. It's not like something that's going to get in the way of your life. So we want to use that to know what's behind the scenes, so to speak, in the news, right? So the weakness we indicate, or you got weakness indicator to give you the answer, and it's not answers that you get from a literature or from a book or from someone else. The answer, you should be able to perceive the weakness associated with it, and the weakness would form the terminology or the words for you to express what it really is. So again, looking at the person's depression, we already mistakenly accept that depression is really in the person's mind or emotions, or they have a psychological problem, and that's why they take their life. So when there's no weakness to indicate that, then it's really not really where it's coming from. So in this particular case, when people commit suicide or the person commits suicide, you want to know there's a weakness coming from the person or coming from other members of the family. And that's the reason why when you want to improve, you want to ensure that family members will improve along with you. And they don't have to be family members who are living at this time and space. You can have ancestors who have something that, or karmas that they, if they make people commit suicide, of course that would be a stronger karma than if they assist other people to commit suicide. So
I would say this particular person had a weakness indicate that his ancestor have assisted others to commit suicide more than once, right? So it's like 20 times. So, and those are the karma that have not been resolved for the ancestor descendants, which is the person that commits suicide in this time and space. So once you resolve that, or if you resolve ahead of time, then this suicide act of suicide would never have taken place. So you can actually stop a person from committing suicide by tracing down the weakness to indicate what it is. Otherwise, we're so used to use the same set of rules that we got from a page of a book to apply to the situation that could change the situation, and not really. Okay, so if you want to change your situation, you want to find the weakness in the proper order and allow the weakness automatically strengthen themselves, that the person don't have to deal with them again, right? So that's number one, right? Number two, as I said, depression is really a central nervous system lowering of the energy, especially when the person relaxes excessively. Their energy would be definitely lower than it used to be. When a person is good in sport, you could, with your insight, to compare that person's excellent in sport would be strong in their physical intelligence or physical central nervous system that actually support the performance, right? So it's really the central nervous system that make the body perform, and the body have to connect back to the central nervous system, so they have the intelligence of what to do to perform. So without the central nervous system connecting with the body, the person would not be that much of a performer. So using your mind to try to perform and using sports psychology in an attempt to improve your game or your performance, it doesn't really work. Okay, so and we're still doing it that way, right? So it's really the mind. We will psych people out and put a limitation on how they perform. If you want to perform physically well, it has to be coming from the central nervous system. The mind not going to do it. Okay, so in fact, you want to empty your mind, get your mind out of the way. Of course, when you empty it, then you can delete your mind from your physical central nervous system, and that always would be a good approach to improve performance. So you could also measure in comparison the person at their prime. Their physical intelligence is like 100 times stronger than the mental intelligence. And when the person no longer performing in the sport, their mental intelligence is actually become like 1,000 times stronger than the physical intelligence. So we still encouraging people to develop their mind instead of their physical intelligence. So again, to repeat the information, your physical intelligence comes from your central nervous system. And your central nervous system is the computer that you came with, and you already have the program. It doesn't need additional program. The program pretty much your mind. Your mind is the program. The central nervous system is your computer. So, and the computer already came with the program. So we just have to recognize how we could improve the function of the computer. So when a person have injuries, when they're prone for injuries, then you could process that. Is that coming from the person's spiritual experience of having injuries, or the person have karma causing injury to others. So if the weakness come up as causing injury to others, and that's a karma that has to be resolved, and if it doesn't resolve, then the person would be more prone to have injuries. So by resolving that, and if that's the first weakness, then the person would have less chance of having injuries. Of course, you could go to other specific weakness indicator that besides traumatizing others, this particular person actually have family also traumatizing others, injure them, right? So, and that's when the injury come back and affect a person that not realizing it. That's really the karma that make the person attract the injury. So this is not always the case, that karma of injuring others is going to make a person more prone to injuries. It could be other reasons. In this particular case, this is the reason, but this is not the reason for it, or injuries. So, and you want to ensure that you have the insight to get to the right answer. So it's really the right answer that matters. So you want to have answers, or the right answer to the news, and resolve the situation. So by finding the weakness, you could actually snap the person out of more inclination to want to commit suicide. So you could actually stop suicide on its track, and you don't even need to talk to the person about it. If you know somebody prone to doing that to themselves, you will use this process and improve the person's choices of not choosing suicide, because the karma of, in this particular case, the karma of assisting other people committing suicide have not been resolved, would make the descendants more inclined to carry that out. All right, so, and it doesn't have to be exactly that, right? So a person could have ancestors encouraging or supporting other people who commit suicide, or assisting them. The person, the descendant, could be doing the same thing, assisting other people to commit suicide, or encouraging other people to commit suicide. But in this particular case, that wasn't it. So it affected the person directly. That suicide is kind of an attraction for the person to in an attempt to resolve the ancestors' karma. And resolving it is not commit the act that the ancestor have karmas with. So when it comes to a spiritual, that is not really the best place to be, is to be spiritual. We always think that the spiritual level is the ideal level to be in, but on a spiritual level, you will have a lot of negative spiritual experiences. You have karmas and curses. Curses would be unresolved karma, that and these karma could associate with karma of trauma, karma of making other people sick, karma of trauma, illness, limitation, or put restriction on others, and causing people to have fears and phobias, and encouraging people to do things that turn out to be karma. So that is just a basic list of the experiences relating to karma. Of course, there are other lists that we don't take into consideration. The one that mentioned, those that mentioned actually are the leading ones. So it's good to get the insight, to know what to do about resolving karmas and negative spiritual experiences and curses, to ensure the life will not be affected by those spiritual experiences. Okay, so I will just stop it here, and we will go on next time. So thank you.